What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about this little guy. This is the Canon RF 50 f1.8 and whether or not this lens is something that you should add to your camera bag. The 50mm or the Nifty 50 is a lens that I think should be in everybody's camera bag. Whether you're just starting out or you've been shooting for 20 years, a little lens like this packs a massive punch. This is the RF version. The EF version, which is the previous version of this lens, is Canon's best-selling lens of all time. So this little guy has some massive shoes to fill. So let's start off with build quality. If you're familiar with Canon RF lenses, this lens is no different. The body is made out of an engineering plastic. It feels very good in the hand. The rear mount is all metal. So some of Canon's EF version of this lens, to save money, they used a plastic mount. So this one is an all metal mount, which is nice to see. The front is a 43mm front filter thread diameter, so you can thread on filters. And it also comes with probably the world's smallest and cutest lens cap, so that's a plus too. Overall, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't make any noise when you shake it. It feels very good, very solid. This front ring is very well dampened. I would say it is about as smooth as the focus ring on something like a 15-35 or a 24-105 L series lens. It feels very natural, very smooth. And then Canon has also added a little switch here, so you can use this switch to bounce back and forth between control ring functions. And if you switch it forward, that allows you to manually focus this lens. Now moving on to image quality, this lens has become a bit of a legend in its own right, and I think that's because the EF version sold so well. There's millions of copies of this lens out there, and so Canon had some very large shoes to fill, and I think they did so with the RF version. The image quality is just as good, if not better, than the EF version. I would say that this one is a little sharper, especially at f1.8, so shooting wide open. This is a little sharper than the EF version. Also at 2.8, I would say this is almost as sharp as a Canon L series lens. So it is a very sharp lens. The image quality is extremely nice. At f1.8, you get very good separation, so you get good bokeh, good background blur. It does flare just a little bit whenever you shoot into the sun, so you get a very pleasant look shooting into the sun, shooting backlit. Just overall, the image quality of this lens is very good. As for autofocus, I use this lens on my Canon R6 and it focuses just as well as my 15-35. It's very sharp, very accurate. The eye autofocus works great for portraits, even with the subject moving to the camera and away from the camera, side to side. The autofocus works very well on this lens. It does chatter a bit, so you will hear the lens hunting for focus. As far as the success rate, it pretty much nails the focus every single time. Now in video mode, cameras like the R6 will slow down the focus speed a little bit, so you can still hear this focus motor working, but it's less audible than it is in photo mode. And then I personally use an external mic, and so with an external mic, you're not going to hear the focus motor as much. If you are using the internal mic, this might be an issue. But honestly, I've used this lens for video shoots in the past, and I've never had the focus motor sound be an issue. For all of these kind of shots, these talking heads, I use this exact lens for these shots. So what I'm gonna do right now is I will put this lens on this camera right now so you can see what this looks like with the 50 f1.8. All right, so now this is the 50 f1.8. I do have IAF enabled. So moving close to the lens. away from the lens, covering my face. So this is the autofocus performance you can kind of expect out of the 50. This is also at f2.8, so this is how sharp the lens would be at f2.8. And I will switch back to my Canon RF 15-35 and I'll give you my closing thoughts. Now overall, does this lens live up to the hype? I believe it does. For $200, this is one heck of a lens. You get an f1.8 lens that has great background separation. It gives you those professional looking photos. More importantly, it just gives you great looking photos. When paired with a camera like the R6, it's a very lightweight and just versatile combo. You can shoot portraits with it, you can shoot landscapes, you can shoot lifestyle, you can shoot automotive. Really, you can pretty much take this lens and shoot whatever you want with it, and you're gonna get great looking photos. So for $200, this is one of the very few lenses that I could recommend to pretty much anybody. If you're a beginner, if you're kind of on the fence about getting a prime lens, this is a great starting lens. And if you're a professional and you don't have the money right now for like a 50 f1.2, this is still gonna get you very good quality images that you can sell and that you can make money and kind of save up until you can get that more expensive L series glass. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you found this review helpful. If you like these lens review videos, let me know down below in a comment or give this video a like, and I may do more of these in the future. Thank you to everybody that's liked, subscribed, commented on my videos. This channel continues to grow, which is just awesome. Appreciate all your feedback, and I will see you in the next one.